Who you think is going to be the favorite in the East, and who you think is going to be the favorite in the West?
I think it's gonna be the Celtics. I mean, not the Celtics. The Bucks. I do think it's gonna be the Bucks being the favorite, especially at least just going into the season. And I think the Nuggets have to be the favorite in the West because
reigning champions.
Nobody else did anything. Like Phoenix added Bradley Beal. Yeah. But, we'll see how that goes. But nobody else in the West had any monumental moves. So I can't put anybody at least preseason ahead of them.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I was going back and forth between the Bucks and the Celtics. I just think the Bucks are just, especially having Dame, just a new form of life. I think they're just going to be hungry, and I feel like Giannis wants to right some wrong, especially the way they went out. So as of right now, I probably got them as the favorites in the East, and then the West. I know you're asking these players, like you said, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Jamal's removed from health, but I don't really know about depth matters, man, especially for an 82-game grind. But there's a classic saying, I like my WWE Triple H, to beat the man, you got to beat the man. Right now, I'm kind of gravitating towards the Suns or the Lakers as being the favorites right now. I need a little sample size with the Nuggets to see how, because I feel like Bruce Brown's gonna really, really hurt them. Like, people sleep on that. But that's just how it goes, man. People gotta get paid. But right now, I'm a two-way tie between the Suns and the Lakers right now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's favorites right now.
I definitely the Lakers are always going to be in the mix with having LeBron. I just am not sold on. I do like the Suns in that trade with DeAndre Ayton, got a lot more defense and got more role players, and I like Nurkic for them more than Ayton. But going back to injury prone,
he is
Nurkic,
injury prone.
Yeah,
I think I was looking it up. I don't remember last time he played over 60 games.
Exactly. So
it's a tough one.
That will be.
Do you think he stays a little bit more healthier because of the trio that they have? So he's
no, because it's not like he was having to do a whole lot. He was. I know, Dame didn't. They didn't have the same core around them, but he was already in a situation where he was around high volume scorers. That's for sure.
That's true.
And he still. He was breaking his leg and other stuff like that. Like I don't even know if it had anything to do with his workload. I just think, bro, it's brittle.
Yeah.
So that's their only real size. Of course, KD has size, but he has no strength in that regard. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, especially when Booker and Beal are not defensive players either. And honestly, just having three guys that all are used to having the ball in their hands and, not having an actual traditional point guard. Yeah. I think to me, there's just a lot more unknowns with them. Yeah.
Okay. I can see that. I always want to say the Clippers, but you have to. I believe in injury proneness, right? Some players are just more likely to get injured than others. Anybody can get hurt, but I always, moving forward, as much as I love Kawhi, it's just I gotta wait till the playoffs time. But they did play well. After they got Russell Westbrook, Kawhi's minutes went up before PG went down. They were on a roll. But that's the big unknown right there. In a perfect world, if they relatively healthy, they both play 60 games, I can see them getting the top 2-3 seed. But right now, I ain't going to worry about that.
Didn't Kawhi tear his ACL last year?
So 2 years ago, he tore his ACL. And then he had a little small meniscus tear.
Okay, that's what. Because he played a little bit in the playoffs. Then he
played 2 games. Yeah, and he tore his meniscus. But he said he's fully healthy. Had a little cleanup procedure. He's good to go. We will see.
Sure, bro.
So we will see. But yeah, go back to what we said. Right now, I'm gonna go with two-way tie: Lakers, Suns in the West, and then in the East, the Milwaukee Bucks for sure.
Also, people sleep real quick on
the Kings.
Nah.
Oh,
really.
What? Okay.
They still have to be better on defense. I don't to me, Sabonis really got exposed. I don't think he's going to be an amazing playoff performer. Because I feel like we see, especially in today's NBA, shooting just matters a lot. And he doesn't really have a shot for real.
Yeah.
So I think, and their defense, I think there's a lot of teams that can score. They, of course, consistently have an amazing offense, but when it comes to the playoffs, a lot of other teams can step it up. So we'll see. But
Sabonis was also hurt last year in the playoffs, and Fox got hurt too.
Yeah, but
they were only 5 games behind the Nuggets last year. The Nuggets lost their depth. Who knows?
We'll see.
Yeah. But what team were you talking about?
Sabonis got hurt during the playoffs, though. He was already not playing amazing.
That's true.
For sure.
Yeah.
But the Pelicans, I don't see them. I'm not saying necessarily
the same way you view
favorite.
Kawhi, man. That's how I'm viewing
But
Zion.
that's exactly the key. Like if Zion is healthy,
because they were number 1 seed last year for a little bit before Zion got hurt, right?
They're one of those teams like, when you have maybe that one of those Cavs teams where they actually had people around LeBron, or even like this Lakers team where, if you were to take LeBron off, they're not going to be a great team. But if you put him back in there, it's a perfect system around him.
Yeah.
And the team is perfect around Zion. He just has to actually want to be on the court.
Because the media day, they kind of asked some questions like, basically they were trying to figure out, like, why weren't you playing last year?
Yeah, we never
kind of just floated around that answer. So we going to see what happens with that. But that would be great. We need that. We need Zion.
Speaking of all this, I feel bad for Luka, bro, because he ain't in nobody's conversations. The Mavs aren't in. Nobody thinks that they're
not, bro. Their team is terrible.
Yeah.
Luka and Kyrie gonna give you points. They're gonna score a lot, but they're not gonna get no stops. Like that's a terrible construction for that team. I love Kyrie as a player, but they should have just at the time when Jalen Brunson was up for his extension. Give them that money for the low, and then you could have put more pieces around them, and they would have been fine for the next 3 to 5 years. But
because Kyrie's contract is more than Jalen Brunson's, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
And then they still got Dwight Powell, Tim Hardaway Jr.,
like his role
players. They're just taking up all that money. Like, ugh.
Yeah. Honestly, Mark Cuban is not great at building teams. He's really not. He's just gotten lucky twice in drafting generational European players.
Yeah.
But for me, you won 1 ring with Dirk his whole time there, and the year after y'all won the ring, you traded everybody away.
You did say that in the previous episodes, yeah.
And then now with Luka, I mean, luckily Luka's still, 24 or something like that, so he still has time, but you haven't put anything amazing around him either. Jalen Brunson was a second-round pick, so I feel like, again, that's a success story, but not a case of you really adding in an asset that you thought was about to, be a difference maker off the bat.
Sometimes investments aren't good because on paper it would have been nice to have had Porzingis paired with Luka and then Brunson, and then you build around them, but I think it's going to be one of those other things, too. How we just talked about Embiid earlier. Luka going to probably be like, yo, I'm out. When have we ever actually seen a international player, like, demand out type shit? A lot of people like to say, oh, he's going to be for life for Dallas, but he want to win, too.
Luka might be another one of those guys. I mean, we'll see. But and it's very early, but Luka might be another one of those guys who has all the regular season accolades and all that, and either never gets to the finals or doesn't win one.